Hello, all. Uh, Mail call video. The other day, I went to Goodwill. Actually, the wife stopped me. Hey, why don't you go in Goodwill? I'm like, I haven't had luck. Pick this up. G.I.Joe 221 piece puzzle. Now, there's four of them, make a big mural. Now, pay $2. It's like, okay. Now, they're not supposed to put anything out that's incomplete. They're supposed to put everything out that's complete. Missing two pieces. So I was like, okay, not going to worry about it. So, mail call today. I already know one of them is another puzzle missing pieces, but not the same one. So, between the two of them, I'll get a full puzzle. Let's see. Seems like anytime I buy anything from the Goodwill or the Salvation Army anymore, nothing's ever complete. So, well, I'll tell you right off the bat, the box is in a little bit better shape, so therefore I'm probably going to keep this box, at least the cover. So now between the two of these, I'll have one of the four complete. But there's this one. And believe it or not, this one's never been opened. So I'm probably going to keep this just like it is, sealed. This is actually mural number 4. I have 1 and 4. See, all the sides are still. So, cutter, gung hos on the killer whale here. And Ricondo. I get a kick out of it though. You don't see much of on this one, who's on this one, so but I'll have to go check them. When it rains and pours at my house though, 10 years to the day, almost to the day, well, this year we bought our refrigerator freezer. It went out. It went the other day, so we had to go to Home Depot and get that. Now that it's cold, too. I love it. My daughter had the heat on during the summer. I have no fuel oil. So I called them up. Well, they can't get, I love it. Can't get the refrigerator freezer till the 1st of December. So thank God I have a refrigerator freezer downstairs in the basement, and a chest freezer and a stand-up freezer. So it's like that wasn't a big slap in the face. We managed to take lots of stuff that was in the freezer and put them in the two. And what didn't fit in ours, I ran over my mother-in-law's, so put it in her freezer because she don't store a lot of stuff in her freezer, so she's got a chest freezer, so okay. Then the fuel oil, I'm like, okay. So I call them up. Well, they can't deliver till next week, so I'm like, So I have electric heat down here in the basement, but the rest of the house is fuel oil heat. So I got the heat cranked up in the basement to warm upstairs, which is fine by me. Nice and toasty down here. Been trying to get stuff worked out last night too. Keegan wanted to play Mr. Mouth, so pull it out. Battery was corroded. I was like, oh great, I gotta not leave batteries in stuff. So my Mr. Mouth does not work. I have to somehow solder the negative end back into place because that broke off. I'm not going to buy another whole Mr. Mouth game for something that can be fixed. Put that back in place. Get it working. After all, if I could restore a 1977 X-Wing fighter, I'm sure Zabel can probably fix a Mr. Mouth board game. Ain't been doing much other than trying to get stuff just situated up in the attic. But now that the weather's dropped, I actually have to plug the vent, move the thermostat up there so I can actually retain heat up in the attic. Because I have right now, when the thermostat hits 60, all the heat gets pushed out, and I don't want that. I actually want to keep heat in, so crank the thermostat up to where it starts at 90, which it never gets that hot up in the attic because of the peak vents. But it'll retain enough to it'll stay in the high 60s, so I'm like, that's fine by me. High 60s, low 70s, so it's good for the books. Just crazy stuff. I'm just trying to get room. I came up with an idea for storing all my video games. Not going to say it out loud because, see, so far, every time I've said something out loud, I jinx myself, so. I'm going to probably store stuff. A lot of the movies, a lot of the video games are going to go, and I'm going to have them labeled because I hardly play any of my video games, so. A lot of them, they just sit there. They're ready to play if I ever decide I want to play a game, so I don't really want them. So if I create that row and open it up for movies, I'll have more stored for the movies. Like, everything's based on me building out that way, so it's like eventually I'll have a separate place to store my movies, place to store all my video games, because this will be the game room. So I'll move the day bed over into the movie room. Only keep the futon in here, in front of the video games. Because the futon, extra bed. The day bed I'll put in the other room. Probably get another one, so there'll be like maybe two, or maybe I'll just buy a recliner or one of those movie chairs or whatever. But everything in this house is eventually going to have its own spot. Like, this whole game room is going to have all my board games. Eventually, will be back out. I'm boxing them for the time being because I don't have enough storage on the walls. But if I do go that way, I will have more storage here, and I'll have a nice setup when it comes to. Because I got probably I gotta have over 500 board games now. Got over 2,000 video games between all the systems. It's just that I'm still waiting for Stanley to bring back my Atari cabinets. I'll have to text him later. See, maybe after Thanksgiving, I'll be very thankful and they'll have them finished. He's been working. He told me one day he was going to have them back in June, and something happened, and that didn't happen. Then in August, he was going to have something happen. It's like, I'm like I said, I jinxed myself. So, hopefully, they'll eventually be here by the end of the year. I'm praying to God by the end of December, I'll have those cabinets, and I'll be able to get rid of all these Atari games in the cases that I have laying all over my floor here, and move them into the cabinet up on the ceiling, and then put them back out in the garage, the empty cabinets, for the storage of all my overflow stuff. Because I had like double CDs in them, I had double VHS tapes in them, stuff that, down the road they'll be up for sale, trade, whatever. Got a bunch of double video games for the Atari. 26, 52, a few 78s. I got a few Intellivision games, a couple Coleco games loose, just because of me buying lots. But lately now I've been buying boxed Atari games, and I'm like, yeah, I got close to probably 70 of them now for the 2600. Not really worried about them as long as I have the cartridge. If I find them, cheap, that's why I pick them up. Like, went to the flea market, I got Dodge 'em. Went to the flea market, I got Star Raiders. So they're all, they're all games that put together, put away, taken care of. But that does it for this edition of King Joe's. And as always, I thank you guys for viewing and subscribing King Joe.